Now imagine you're at the top of your athletic career and then it all comes tumbling down when you're hit with doping allegations. To date, our guest claims that he is very much innocent. So here we are in beautiful Nyeri town at Outspan Hotel to hear his side of the story. Let's begin. Hi there, welcome to the show. Like I mentioned earlier, today we are out of town. We're all the way in Nyeri to meet someone who've been longing to meet for a very long time, Asbel Kiprop. Thank you so much for agreeing to come to Unscripted. Ama tunafaa kugotana. Hii mambo ya corona. Lakini tuko sawa.
Yeah, we could.
We're good. Yeah. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Yeah, pleasure.
Thank you for making the time for us. We appreciate it.
Welcome.
So let's start from the beginning. Asbel Kiprop, where did you grow up? Tell me about your upbringing. Do you have like a fond memory as a child you remember to date?
Well, I can recall the days when my father worked here in Nyeri.
Oh, you
actually where I work in it.
Yeah.
That's in Kikanjo.
Okay.
National Police College.
Oh, your father was posted there?
Yes, he was an instructor over there in teaching at the CPTI, and remember beginning my nursery school in Kikanjo.
Oh, wow. And now you're back here.
And I'm back
Life
here.
is full circle.
It's a full circle.
Did you always have an interest for running then as a child, or how did you stumble upon
well,
the track?
Running was not, it's not been something new because, okay, my dad also ran the 1500, represented the college and also Kenya. Okay. A time he went to, because out of the stories he told us, that he went to race in London. Versus the current president of the IAAF, Sebastian Coe. You know, they had a race in Crystal Palace.
Nice.
And that's when, you know, that's what even built up to inspire me to become an athlete.
I'm sure.
He raced the current it's called Steve Cram. Raced Steve Ovett, raced Sepko, of course, in the mile and in the 1500.
He was well experienced, eh?
Yes, and that's how I developed the interest and the urge also to become an athlete.
That's amazing.
Yes.
So you are your father's son,
Yeah.
through and through.
True.
And how did you begin? How did the journey actually begin for you? At what age did you start?
Well, I developed the interest.
Were you training with him?
Yeah, it reached a time when a point when we trained together. Okay. But before we trained together, I can recall when I was in Standard 4, I used to attend a school that is a day school. And it was quietly around 4 kilometers away from home. Okay. And I would run to school in the morning and run back for lunch.
Oh, really?
You know, at the lunch hour. Yeah. And run back again to school.
Wow.
After the lunch break.
Okay.
And in the evening, you could even walk back. Okay. So I developed that kind of...
that was your early training?
That kind of training when I was around 10 years.
But now, when did you officially begin as an athlete? What led to that journey? Who did you meet? How did you start?
It came a time when I began out training, and even could steal my father's shoes when he's not around.
Oh, really?
And yes, because there were big shoes, you know, when I was in class 6, and I would put some socks inside so that it could fit me, and run. Oh, wow. But this time around, you know, he couldn't allow me to run, to train that much because he thought my muscles would stand. But with time, it reached a time when he went to race in Spain and came back. That's when I was preparing to run at the under 14 cross-country race in the Discovery Kenya. Now it's a filler, it's a Nike Discovery Kenya cross-country.
That was your first race now?
And it was my first race.
How was that experience?
It was quite an experience to run with your age group. Because I didn't win. I was number 40. And I got a t-shirt.
Oh.
And I was so happy to have gotten a t-shirt.
Oh, you were happy? Yeah, so you were not disappointed or sad you didn't make it to top 3?
I would dress it in coat back to school. Oh. And every time during the games time, I would be wearing that one. The Nike Discovery cross-country t-shirt that I took back.
Oh, wow.
And I got motivated a little, you know, gradually.
And then how did you progress from there?
Well, when I went, okay, I would race in primary school and also part of high school. But I was not so good until when I was in Form from 4.
Things changed.
Yes, when I finished number 4 at the junior trials that were held in Kasarani, and representing a high school, and I finished number 4. I remember that was in the year 2006, and the likes of David Rudisha qualified for that event to go to China, and some other colleagues, Jackson Gifuva in the 800. And in the 1500,
Did you qualify?
I didn't qualify because I was number 4. I closed 4th. And the 2 guys, Chevry Rono and Remy Limo, qualified for the World Juniors in Beijing, China.
So you didn't make it?
I didn't make it. And that was my lucky day because I was spotted by Martin Kano and coach Chimi Puta.
Wow. They spotted your talent?
They spotted me to pick me to go and train at Kip Keino High Performance Training Center.
Fantastic.
And that's where now I went to find the real training and the real preparation that resulted to qualifying for the World Cross Country that was held in Mombasa in 2007. And it resulted to a gold medal.
Nice.
My first international event, I can say that I became here in Kenya. And managed to win a gold medal at the 8 kilometer in a junior race in 2007 in Mombasa.
You mentioned that, I guess Kip Keino was one of your mentors because he spotted you. But who else, mentored you during this journey?
Okay, in this journey, I can say my father, first of all, gave me that, opened my eyes, to be able to know that I will one day, run. And number 2 is the people who spotted me at Kip Keino training, at Kasarani, to be able to take me, to race and also when I was in primary school during the school closing, I used to train under Brata Columns training facility in training community. That's even what resulted into me making number 4 in that.
Oh, fantastic!
Yes, and then
yes,
and then the people I can give credit to my father, and you mentioned Prata Column, and Martin Kano, son of Kipchoge Keino, and of course Kipchoge Keino allowing us to train in his facility.
He's mentored many, hasn't
he? And Chimi Buta, the coach of the great Moses Kiptanui, and you can name them. A big number in Nyahururu. People used to train in Nyahururu. Is the 10 coach at Kipchoge Keino's training camp in Eldoret. So those are people, among them my current coach, you can say David Letting.
Okay, he's currently your coach.
Yes.
Because you're still training.
You're
still training.
I'm still having
We'll get
sessions.
into that conversation. What do you love most about the sport that to date you've not let it go?
Okay, what I like the most is the progress, that gradual progress. Whenever you focus on something, what the sport taught me is whenever you focus and want something and keep all your focus on it and grow it gradually, and keep patience and keep hope, you'll be able to attain whatever the goals that you're having.
Through it all, what is your most memorable moment? Or if you can mention some.
Well, I can say, okay, the most memorable moment was winning a silver medal in the Olympic Games in 2008. I can recall when I was still in school in Way Park in 2004, watching Bernard Lagat and Jamel Garouche race in a 1500 meters in Athens.
And saying one day,
I didn't know that it is in the next 2 Olympics I will be the one participating on it. I thought it takes a lot longer, maybe 2012 or even 2016. But when I qualified in Nyayo Stadium to be able to represent Kenya at the Olympics, the biggest breakthrough, although I got silver medal, that was later upgraded to gold. The biggest memory that I can recall was winning the silver medal in Beijing at the Bird's Nest in the Olympic Games.
Why that one in particular?
Because I can recall, those days, my father's friends, the likes of Nixon Kiprotich, they normally say, okay, he is Olympic silver medalist in Barcelona in 1992. So I
And
could
now his
recall
son is
now.
the same.
No. That's my father's friend.
Okay.
Among the people who I eyed on
You
them.
looked up to.
Yes. I can say this silver medal became a motivation and a memorable event that was later upgraded to gold.
Okay.
I can recall that.
Okay.
And it was nice, I mean, to get silver and come home from Olympics, the first Olympic appearance, being the youngest Olympic gold medalist, because it changed to be gold medalist.
Gold, yeah.
Because I was the youngest Olympic gold medalist since 1912.
Imagine.
Yes, and that one motivated me, and I can say, you know, it was the best moment.
How was it when you landed here at home and were received?
Well, I was great, and I was still young.
You were still young.
Yeah, because I remember I was 19 and winning the silver medal in Olympics.
Did you ever have a moment with your father where he told you, these are the three main things when it comes to being an athlete or when you're running? What are the main tips that he gave you as your father?
Well, he gave me a lot of tips, especially training. He taught me about running a long distance in training. He taught me about the strength work, you know, the speed work. Okay. Even it gave me motivation. And always when I didn't perform well, he used to encourage me. He used to tell me as well, you're still young and your time will come. Okay. Just be patient and don't rest too much. Okay. You know, that's what he normally tells me.
That's important. Yeah. But when you were at the height of your career, there was a twist and a 360 turn where unfortunately you hit with doping allegations, which you refuted. Yes. And you accused even the officials of bribery. So let's talk about that. When that happened, how did you react to this and what is the story as well?
So being mentored at the IAAF and AIOC training camp, I knew all the, you know, the aspects. You know, I knew it couldn't reach a time that Aspel Kiprop was going to dope, you know, and having run for those years, in undergoing all those tests, it's almost 136 times in my career. I never thought that one day it will come a time that I will be falsely accused of doping, because that was the thing that I would not do, you know, in my entire, I cannot do in my entire athletics career. Because this is something that I valued much, you know, it's a sport that I call it home, you know, getting the support of my father and getting, you know, that it is I can say it's my father's event, even the 1500. And it is a pattern that I wanted also to hand over to my kid and hand it over to have a family that is, you know, it's a generational in athletics. Yeah. Well, if I take you back to the incident that happened in Beijing 2008, you know, getting silver instead of a gold medal in losing to a drug cheat. His name is Rashid Ramzi of Baitan, Morocco. It reached a time that I became so, you know, focal in fight against doping. And I even went to advocate for, you know, doping to be criminalized. I see. And if I recall, in 2014, if I'm not wrong, when I was in Doha, Qatar for an event, I advocated also that doping should be, you know, the term should not be 2 years, because before it was 2 years.
What did you advocate for? I
said this term is short because you find athletes doping and after some, you know, some short moment
they are back
to racing again. So this is how harsh I was, you know, against doping, and I said it should be 4 years.
And this was even before your accusation?
This is before I was being accused of doping. And I said it should be 4 years and also should be criminalized, so that it will be an example to those athletes who don't work hard, who don't, you know, maintain the patience and the ambitions and you know what it takes to be up there.
So what you're saying, this is not something you would do?
Yeah, that's something I would not do, you know, and I even advocated for jail time, you know, doping to be criminalized. I advocated several times, and when it was passed, you know, the term be 4 years, I said I'm lucky that this thing has happened during my career moment. Okay. Wow. I said, okay, when Rais Uhuru Kenyatta signed even into that thing into law, I said I'm lucky, and I voiced it even in, it was in a Nation newspaper.
Yeah.
I said I'm happy. I voiced, you know, I kept my voice.
Wow.
That now Kenya is in the right direction because we are fighting, you know, this thing, this madness at all costs. It reached a point in 2016 before we went to race in Rio, the Olympic Games, and this time around. There were some cases of athletes from my staple, the management that I worked for since after Olympics in 2008, the Rosa and Associates.
What happened?
Rita Chepto, you know, it's been caught having topped, and Matthew Kisaria also had been caught, you know, having topped.
Yeah.
And when he came, Federico Rosa, to Kenya for the trials in Eldoret, he was being arrested and being taken, you know, to be asked, why is it that your staple has a lot of athletes that have been, you know, accused of doping? And when he was arrested, I rushed, you know, and said, okay, this person, because I've stayed in the staple for 8 years, you know, and he's not given me drugs. I don't think it's right because he has not given me drugs. I have not witnessed him giving me drugs. The case of Matthew Kisaria, he told the people, you know, the newspapers, he reported to Athletics Kenya that those doctors who gave him drugs were actually doctors, local physicians in Eldoret, but not the Rosa staple. And I said to them, why is it that you are arresting this person? Ask me, okay? And this time I was at a press conference with Jemima Sumkong, who was seated here, and I brought Matthew Kisaria here. Other athletes, Rosa Staple management athletes were behind me here. And Jemima spoke and said, okay, in this management, I've not seen people being, you know, given drugs.
You yourself, you're not given any?
Nothing, not even supplements, leave alone drugs. So all of a sudden after Olympics, Jemima Sumkong, it was on news that he's been caught having taken drugs. Okay? And I was like, I couldn't even go, you know, to the media again, to the press, you know, to even to Facebook, to explain anything, because it caught me by shock, because the person I was seated with can even dope, you know, and we were preaching about we were advocating for Federico Rosa.
So when you heard about you being accused, how did you react?
First of all, you know, the AIU guys, Athletics Integrity Unit, they came to me personally before they even, you know, visited Athletics Kenya, the Ministry of Sports. They told me, Asbel, he called me, his name is Alan Evans. He said, Asbel, I am an HN from IAAF. I work for the IAAF. I would want to meet you in person. And Asbel, let it be secret. I want to see you. Then
let it be secret?
Yeah. To me, I knew that, okay, maybe IAAF have noticed something good that I have done, and maybe they want to promote me, to give me some sort of a work. We met, and there were two. It was him and a lady. We met at Lona Place in Eldoret, Ronald's training camp. Then they took me to a room, you know, an office up there. They said, Asbel, we have come. We're not bringing you not cute news. And I was like, what? They said, oh, okay, we are sorry to tell you that you have been caught, you know, your sample that you gave in November 27, 2017 has tested positive of VPO. I said, who, me? You know, I was like, you know, surprised. How can it be me? And I told him, no, it's not me. It cannot happen. And he said, Asbel, okay, we were sent only to bring you the papers to sign that you have been notified. And I said, okay, by who? Okay, the people in Monaco, they have said that your test from the laboratory is tested positive of EPO. Okay, EPO. Okay, I told them, okay, how does it look like? Because I don't know how EPO look like. I said, is it a drug that maybe someone have put on my food?
That's what I want.
And I drink before knowing, without knowing. He said, no, Asbel, this is a drug, as well as we're concerned, it's a drug that can only be taken through injection. And I told them, okay, I'm lucky because I've not had an injection since 2014, before traveling to Bahamas. That was the immunization, the yellow fever vaccination. Because I care about, you know, me taking drugs and rarely get sick. Okay. So we will write. Pardon?
Were there investigations?
This one now the first notification, not investigation. Then I was I sign that I have received this, And they told me, okay, let's meet in a Laureate Club tomorrow, so that we draft a letter with you denying that you have been notified, but you're denying this.
These claims.
Yeah. Then we went to the hotel, the Laureate Club. I met the two of them. They arrived on time. It was around 1 o'clock.
What did they say?
We drafted a letter, and they gave me the email to sign to send to the Athletics Integrity Unit, and I drafted myself. And he told me, Asbel, this thing you better not tell anyone, because you are a big name. It should not. The athletics world will be in a shock. You know, it will be a shock to the athletics world, because this thing is known only by a few people. 4 in laboratory and the 2 of us, and so we were 7.
So how do they want you to handle it?
They wanted me to keep it a secret, which I did until they do their investigation. And they asked me, okay, write a letter saying that we want you to analyze the second, the P sample. I want them to analyze the P sample in my absence, and I am comfortable about it. Because I trusted the IAAF, because they have tested me for quite a longer time.
Okay. Did they do it?
I did that. I wrote. And because I don't want anything like doping to appear on Asbel.
On your records.
On my records. And they told me nobody knows, it's only 7 of us. I write denying that I didn't dope, okay? And I want my sample B to be analyzed by an IAAF independent
body.
Independent. It's the presence of an independent witness.
Got it. Was that done?
It was done. It was done by somebody that I don't know.
What are the results?
The result came, after some time. They gave me a positive for EPO again.
But question,
Yes.
If this happened twice and it still tested positive, what was going on, Asbel? So what is the truth? Were you clean? You claim you're clean.
I was clean, and I am clean. The thing is, they analyze.
So who would want to tarnish your name, and why? Why were you targeted if that is the case?
In this case, because they took me, to London, and I am yet to reach at that point. They took me to London. They wrote me a letter. This time round, not even my coach or even my wife then knew that I was going to go to London, because they asked me to keep this quiet. And it took time, because I think it was around March, because I just wanted this thing to be able to finish, because the season was at hand. Remember, the season begins in May. No, I went to London with their ticket. They put me a 5-star hotel, put me ticket, and the letter that I took to the embassy, the British embassy, to under a visa. I honestly did that without anybody knowing, and I went to London without even my coach knowing this. And when in London, they now brought back the memories about me sitting with Jemima Sumkong and Matthew Kisorio. They asked me, what came into your mind when Jemima Sumkong was caught to have tested positive of EPO? Then I told them it caught me by shock, and I learned not to trust anyone.
Why would they ask you that?
I don't know why they asked me during their investigation in London. And they say, yeah, that's it. And then to me, and after undergoing all these things, I think I was being fixed because maybe the World Anti-Doping body thought I was standing against the work, their work, by advocating for Federico Rosa in Kenya. And that is what I think, because
so it's the anti-doping body that...
I cannot say it's a World Anti-Doping agency, but I can say the accuser, the Athletics Integrity Unit, thought maybe I'm a stumbling block in the work that they were doing.
So they had to finish your career or find a way of...
Yeah, of bringing me down. Okay?
And how did that affect you, even mentally?
It has really affected me.
From one day you're up here and the next...
This thing really affected me, and it's against human rights. It's against... any other person. It's against the sport. It's against the integrity. It's against the truth. It's against the justice. Because it is something that you're 100% sure that you didn't do it. Okay, it is something that how many athletes have denied and come clear in the world since they are caught being accused falsely. No one. Okay, some are guilty, because I know this thing is there, at least dope.
It is.
Okay.
It is.
But when you get a clean athlete, it's hard for him, to hit that rock, because, you're a big body. He trusts you.
Yeah.
Okay. you have the, you know, the ability and capacity to keep the sport of athletics clean, you know, to stand for the clean athlete and the innocent, you know, athlete. It brings down a career, a reputation, and even a tomorrow career, you know, of becoming a coach or even building a facility, in training even other athletes, including your siblings and even your kids. And also the name, you know, the country, the heritage of Kenya and the sport of athletics, you know, it is an error that must be rectified, you know, because I feel there is an error and people are sitting on it and they are happy about it. That's something that I will not allow it happen, even if I finish my term. Okay. Even if it will take 10 years after this, fighting. I will continue the fight against this thing. Before
we go on a break, how are you trying to clear your name? How are you fighting this as well?
Probably at the moment I'm training. Okay, it's by the fact that I'm training athletics still, because it was not the end of my career, because I didn't plan to retire from athletics in that kind of matter. Yeah. And I still have to prove to a point. I have to come back and run. It will be hard, and it will take me some time to be able to be at that level again. But I will still do it because I have that energy. I feel that I have that energy. And this case even have motivated me even to want more, you know, to want to run.
Thank you. So what you went through, not many people could handle very well. Whether it's mentally, emotionally, when your life just turns around and your career is affected, it sort of affects everything else. So I'd like to ask this, and for people at home, because we all go through unscripted moments in life where everything just comes tumbling down. How do you pick up yourself from something like that?
Well, it takes patience, and you don't have to lose hope. And remember Nelson Mandela?
Yeah.
Those years he spent in prison.
17.
Quite a longer time.
Very.
He only became president for a term.
Imagine.
And
to date we celebrate.
He inspired the whole world, the whole generation. Yeah. How many times does Obama tweet, you know, in remembrance of, you know, Mandela, the great Nelson Mandela? These are the sacrifices that whenever we are hit by such storms, we need to persevere, but stand our feet. I was thinking, if you can't stand for the truth, if you're doing right, stand with the right thing.
That's true.
And no matter whatever happens in anybody's career, in terms of working place, in terms of, you know, even to farmers, sometimes locusts can appear and destroy your field. But you have to stand, remain to be a farmer, you know. Do the thing that you have a call on it, and never lose hope.
That's powerful. Who were your biggest support during that time, and did you have any backlash from your fellow colleagues or from Kenyans? What is the response when it happened from the world?
Well, when such a thing happens, you know, to me, it happened. Okay, what I would expect to happen to any other athlete, any other sports person who is guilty of doping, and I'd say that kind of embarrassment, and they deserve, to be honest. Whoever doped deserves such kind of embarrassment. But it is a double impact or a double challenge when it happens to an athlete who is innocent. Seeing your friends shy away, you know, those great, you know, people, those ones, even some you mentored them, are shying a little bit away. Some you competed with them. They said, okay, so he is been beating us through doping. Okay.
So you lost lack of trust with
those. It is even worse because even the people that you own it and shelter them and have them in your roof, some of them would quit. It's only a few.
Of course.
Those are your parents, in your brothers. Okay. The rest, they become. They now, you know, sometimes, you know, when you have okay, because this thing when it happened, I developed some stress, you know, and I was not myself because I was quiet. I was doing abnormal things. I would even become a drunkard and drink and not even go to the house at night, and it triggered, you know, even my own wife then did not know, you know, what I'm going through. and could not even understand. And she mistaked me for.
So did it affect the marriage?
It affected my marriage, and she went away. Okay,
Sure.
lucky enough, I have another one now.
So you went separate ways.
We went separate ways because of the kind of, I was trying to find the truth, to figure out where the truth is, where the truth lies on in this case.
Okay.
And the only people that could stand with me were my parents and the National Police Service. And I must appreciate the service in general, including the IG, because it gave me the support that I really needed. And he understood.
For your sake and for the sake of anyone who's been falsely accused before or going through a similar case, I really, really do hope you can clear your name, because it's not fair to go through all of that
Yes.
if it's not true. But to switch gears from using your own body as a machine in running and on the track, on the field, now you're interested in motorsport.
Yes.
How did that happen?
I was interested in motorsport since I was a kid.
Oh, you always had the interest?
Yeah, I had that interest. And when I had turbulence in this sport of athletics, I thought maybe during this period I might consider training, because I'm not into vigorous training in athletics. I might consider training also the motorsport, because it involves a lot of classwork and computer work, and also a lot of driving.
I see.
And I thought maybe this could be another option, if not a better option, of remaining in the sport, because I have lived a sport. I've been an athlete, and my father's been an athlete also. So I've lived in a room of world of sport.
Okay.
So I wanted to stay. I don't want to be outside. I just want to be in the sport.
Okay.
And as much as I train, as I told you, I will be back to running. And in 2013, I happened to meet Abdul Sidi.
Okay.
And I developed the interest. And he told me, Asbel, whenever you are in off season, you are free to come and train in my school.
I see. Where is the school?
It's based in Nairobi, in South Sea.
Okay.
I welcome this, and recently I was still thinking of venturing into this kind of sport.
Are you doing it competitively?
I will do it competitively, but I'm willing to learn slowly.
Okay.
Just like athletics, when I began from zero, climb that ladder.
Exactly.
But I'm not going to, I know I have been to sports of athletics, and I know what it takes to be at the height, that height. Yes.
Do you think it will have that big of an impact though if you did motorsport?
First of all, we have to try. And everything is a trial.
That's true.
You just try, and if it happens, you better try and fail than not trying at all. Yes.
I believe when we go through challenging or difficult seasons in our lives, even if I could say failure, we draw our biggest lessons as opposed to when we are at the mountaintop or success. For you, what have been your biggest lessons through this journey, Asbel?
Well, what I've learned from this journey, from this kind of turbulence, is when things are good, friends are many. But whenever you are undergoing turbulence, you will be able to know and identify your true friends.
That's true.
You will know mockers, those people who mock, and you will be able to identify yourself, and also those people who can stand with you whenever. Yes.
That's true.
Thank you.
And what motivates you and drives you, Asbel, as you wrap?
What drives me is the fact that I have been an athlete. I have seen ups and downs whenever I run. And I know when they lose. I've lost Olympics. I became last in London due to a lingering injury.
Sorry.
I have ran number 6 in Rio.
Yeah.
I have won in Beijing. So I know every part. I know how to run in a race when I lead.
Yeah.
I know how to run from behind and win. I know how to run in the middle.
Okay.
So what I've learned in this journey is that life is not about. Life is about the craft. It's not always a smooth, straight path or a smooth flight. There must be turbulence, and we must always be able to cope up whenever it changes.
That's true.
Yes.
As much as you said, when you go to a YouTube, former races, and you see negative comments or whatever the press may have shared or whatever is out there, what you're doing now, like you said, you didn't want to finish your athletic career on that level. You need to finish on a high, and that's why you're still training and you're still trying to clear your name. So if I may ask, what legacy would you like to leave behind as Asbel for your children and for other athletes, for the world?
Okay, what the legacy that I would like to leave it, behind. As I mentioned before, I told you about the story of Nelson Mandela fighting for his freedom, for the freedom of his people. The legacy that I want to leave as Asbel Kiprop is, first of all, coming out of this thing, be able to prove to the world that I didn't do this. No matter how long it will take, I will be able to prove and come back and run. Even if I run for a shorter season, the career, but I'll be able to open the doors that whenever anything happens, keep your focus, keep your eye on the prize and never lose hope. Continue doing that until that breakthrough comes, and you'll be able to inspire even your accuser and even those who put you to that kind of prison, and even those who conspired, for that reason, because truth and transparency is bigger than the shame of conspiracy.
That's powerful.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I must ask though, you have a son, right?
I have 2 sons.
You have 2 sons.
Yes.
Do you see them having that gene in them as well?
I had it in my father.
Interest in running?
Okay, I know they have my. Do
they steal your shoes like you used to steal your dad?
They have my genes.
Yeah.
As far as I've taken them for DNA, and it gave me 99.999%. So they have my genes.
I mean, you're running.
No, they have that. They like. Especially my firstborn son. Okay. He has he has the will of running, because every time he closes school,
okay,
he wants to to ask me, Dad, I need some shoes to run, and he likes.
Would you encourage him, even with everything you've experienced?
I will definitely encourage him to run, because I will be his trainer. I will also teach him whenever I will inspire him like my father inspired me.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Asbel. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure meeting you.
Sure.
And like I said, I really do hope you get to clear your name.
Thank you.
And you finish on a great legacy for your sons and for other athletes.
Thank you.
Nashukuru. Thank you so much for watching.